Hello, I know it's a late night for you or early morning like it is for me. I'm out here in Africa, so hello from Africa. I'm also doing like my self-care morning routine with you this morning, and we're also going to go over some really cool grant opportunities. Going towards the end of the year is actually when most small business owners decide to like not take on these funding opportunities. I'm here to tell you, friend, that this is actually the perfect time to continue to be persistent in applying to grant opportunities. I'm a 71% successful grant writer. I'm not new to this game. I'm true to this, and I've been doing this for over 8 years. I've helped over 800 small business owners, nonprofit organizations, churches, innovators, and pioneers get this debt free money. Grants is debt free money that we don't have to pay back, no credit checks, and no personal information needed. So, I want us to do a live grant search here, live on YouTube, and I want to give you the ability to ask me, a 71% successful grant writer, any questions or concerns you might have regarding your grant writing journey. I've been talking about grants on YouTube for the past 5 to 6 years, okay? And let me tell you something. Every time I talk about a grant opportunity, I have more than 1,000 small business owners, startups, and innovators reach out to me and say, hey, I want you to apply to a grant, or how do I apply to these grant opportunities, or how do I find more grant opportunities? So in this live stream, I'm not only going to share my usual grant education, but I want to give you some pointers on how to be more organized, effective, and efficient in your grant writing journey so you can kickstart 2025. Okay. Now, like I said, we're doing morning skincare routine. I've been writing grants for a long time, and I'm currently here in Nigeria off of a grant opportunity. Grants is something that can truly change your entire business life and even your personal life. You can get a grant for any type of project or any idea you might have. I don't know if you guys can hear the background, but Africa is waking up right now. It's 6 a.m. And so usually when the motherland wakes up, everyone's singing, praising, and doing good things. I don't know if y'all can hear it in the background, but it's definitely giving the vibes for this morning's or this late night live stream for y'all. All right, so this is Gold Water. If you guys don't know, sorry, my bottle's a little bit dirty with all my makeup. But Gold Water, I got this from I don't know if you guys watch this one creator. His name's 19 Keys. So I watch him a lot, high level conversations, things like that. And so Gold Water has actually been helping me out. So I advise you guys get you some Gold Water. Gold Water will help open up your pineal gland and allow you to think on a deeper level. Okay, you got to get your health right. Okay, because in order for you to be thinking and developing your mindset along this whole entire business growth, you got to develop your mindset right and be healthy and do all that good stuff. All right, so let's get to it. Grants. Now, even though we're about to be under a new presidential administration, and even though Donald Trump did take away the $100 million DEI opportunity, inclusion opportunities, that doesn't mean that there will not be any charitable gifts or any type of rewards or grants out here for us to take on. That just simply means we need to be more strategic on how we get these business funding opportunities. Long gone are the days of you just getting a business opportunity just because you're a black business owner, a woman business owner, a person with disability that wants to start a business, or a veteran entrepreneur. We call them veteranpreneurs. So now it's time, going into 2025, we need to make sure we are properly prepared for any of these business funding opportunities. And that not only goes for grants, but that also goes for loans, lines of credit, and all types of other venture capitalist opportunities. All right. So I talked about this earlier today on my live stream about what you need to have before you apply to a grant. Business plan, pitch deck, and a 90-second pitch video. All of those things will definitely help you properly prepare for any type of grant opportunity there is out there that you want to apply to. These grant applications ask certain questions that you can refer back to your business plan that will help you answer them. So for those of you who are not confident in answering some of these questions for you to be able to get these opportunities, well, that's the purpose of you having a business plan. Okay? Earlier in my live stream today, I went over like a tool that you can use. All right? So you can use some AI tools to help you develop your business plan. Use some tools right now. Get your business plan done. Don't even waste any time. All right? Now, you need a business plan, you need a pitch deck, and you need a 90-second pitch video. All right? You need those things. Once you have those things put together, and listen, friend, You can go to Fiverr.com and hire a freelancer, or you can use AI, which is free, you know what I mean, and save you money. We're in the days of spending money only on things that we actually need and that will actually drive impact in our business. Yeah, I know you felt that, what I just said. Exactly. So that means use these AI tools out here, friend. It's time for us to develop. All right? You got to develop and you got to get more computer savvy, because being more computer savvy and learning more about systems, softwares, and how things work on the computer will actually help you save a lot of money. I'm telling you this for real. So you don't have to depend on other people. You know what I'm saying? Cool. So use these AI tools that I talk about on my YouTube channel that I've been talking about for the last 2 weeks. And then develop your business plan or pitch deck. Or you can hire me to do it for you. I'll do it live on a Zoom call with you. We'll get it knocked out. Okay? No time wasted. If you want to book a one-on-one call with me, all you have to do is simply text grants to 855-731-1487. I'll put the number down below. The link is also in the description of this video, the direct booking link. So you can just click on the title of this video or the title of this live stream, and it should take you directly to the description, and you'll be able to tap directly on my booking link. All right, it's only $47. We can do this together. All right, cool. So you have that. Now, where do you find these grant opportunities? 3 places: grants.gov, grantwatch.com, okay, and Hello Skip. If you are a seasoned business, then you can go for those government grant opportunities. If you are a startup, then you want to use the search engine GrantWatch, as well as Hello Skip, and you want to apply to those grants there. You will have a higher chance of approvals, and you'll have more opportunities using grantwatch.com and Hello Skip as a startup, and as like, even if you're in the idea phases of your business. Get what I'm saying? Now, you know what you need to have, you know what a grant is, and you know the 3 main websites. Let's talk about the 4 different ways you can get approved of a grant, okay? You can get approved of a grant by a first come, first serve opportunity. Those are more guaranteed grants. So people out here, or small business owners out here, or startups, you guys are looking for grants that are more guaranteed. I'm here to tell you there are grants out here that can guarantee you some money. How do you know that you have ran across a guaranteed grant? Guaranteed grants mainly come from state and local governments. State and local governments. State and local governments, which means these grants come from your state or your local government. Local government can mean your city or your zip code. So they would say, usually in the qualifications for these type of guaranteed state and local government grants, they usually want you to meet some sort of eligibility requirements. Generally speaking, what they're looking for can be a number of different reasons, right? For example, small business owners in Central Florida have been affected by 2 hurricanes back to back. Hurricane Milton, Hurricane Helene. Okay? So in Central Florida, from Central Florida down to South Florida, they have a grant going on that has been open since Hurricane Helene, right? But they have I think it's like $5,000 grant for any small business owner who has been economically affected and also physically affected by these hurricanes. Get what I'm saying? So if you can show proof that you have been economically affected is just simply showing proof that your business is located in a zone or in an area that has been affected, then you are guaranteed this grant. Let me give you another example of a guaranteed grant. They may be looking for a small business owner who helps with youth development. You may help, young children of all from ages 10 up to like 19 years old, and you're helping them develop, right? So this might be your actual business or even your nonprofit. So as long as you are located, let's say, for example, as long as you are located in Chicago, Illinois, and you are assisting with the justice reform of, gun violence, then you're guaranteed this government grant from the city of Chicago. You get what I'm saying? If you need another example, I'll give you another example. But one way you can win a grant is a guaranteed grant opportunity is through a first come, first serve opportunity, right? And this is when your state and local governments put out a newsletter and they say, hey, we are looking for all the small business owners in Atlanta, Georgia, in El Paso, Texas, in Miami, Florida, in, San Francisco, right? And as long as you are in that zip code, as long as you can show proof that you are in that particular city or state, and you apply to the opportunity, first come, first serve. All right, so that's one way you can win a grant. Second way is through a judgment. A judgment is when you want to make sure the answers on your application is very thorough, polished, and professional, because they will use the answers that you put on your grant application to determine whether or not you are a business owner that they're looking for. So questions like, what would you do with this $10,000? How will you gain traction in your business? What is your customer retention strategy? Who are your competitors and what differentiates your company from your competitors? What are the top 3 cities that you plan on targeting? And what is your target demographic, right? Target audience demographic of people. So having that business plan and pitch deck will really help you out with answering those questions for those types of grants. Now, each grant application you submit will ask you some questions like that, whether it's a first come, first serve opportunity or not. You do have some grants out here that don't ask you any type of like business questions, and they simply want to know who's the company owner, what's the company's name, do you have a business website, do you have an Instagram, and submit. Those type of grant applications that you might run across are more like raffles. All right, so we're going into the third way you can win a grant, a raffle. So during this time of the year, and also considering we're not going to see a lot of grants going into 2025 and under this new presidential administration, we may start to see, or we will see, a lot of grants for Black-owned companies, grants for Latino-owned businesses, grants for veteranpreneurs, grants for persons with disabilities, grants for the senior community who wants to start a business, and also grants for women-owned companies. We're going to start to see those diversion, equity, inclusion opportunities. We're going to start to see them dwindle down. And we're going to see more and more and more and more grants out here for the tech space, tons of grants for the tech space. We're also going to see a lot more grants out here for all small businesses and startups. So that doesn't mean that I don't want to demotivate you, and I don't want to kill your confidence in getting these grant opportunities. No, friend. That means that there's going to be way more money in the pot now. But this also means that there's going to be more individuals, more small business owners, more startups that will be applying to these opportunities. And this means that we will need to be way more strategic on how we are actually getting these grant opportunities. We'll have to be very strategic because we're going to be going against some giants. Okay? All right. So third way, random raffle. Random raffle, you're just pretty much submitting the grant application. Once you submit the grant application, then, they randomly draw. And then you have the fourth way would be like through, let's say it will be through, we did first come, first serve, a judgment. This would be through like a pitch competition. All right. So you ever seen Shark Tank before with Dame Dash and Mark Cuban and all this? Yeah. So boom. Shark Tank is, where you pretty much present your product or service and you say, hey, this is my product. This is what it does. This is, this is why you should care about it. This is the effects of it. This is how much it costs. This is the business model, things like that, right? And so you are pitching to investors to see, to get them to invest into and to care about your idea, right? The product or service in your company. So there are pitch competitions out here that are like grants. Whereas, like, for example, Google gives out millions of dollars in grant opportunities to small business owners, small Black business owners, and also scholarships. But they host different pitch competitions because a lot of the grants that they give out, right, would be like these grant opportunities that you not only get the money, but you also get network. Yeah. See, sometimes it ain't always being about money. And if you're afraid to go through that door, well, I'm here to tell you, friend, scared money don't make no money. I know you heard your friends say that. I'm a Y2K girl, so I grew up on that. Scare money don't make no money. You cannot be afraid to take on these opportunities and to take on the grant opportunities that give you that are like accelerator programs and pitch competitions. You can't be afraid to talk about your business. You want us to shop with you? Well, you got to tell us why we should give a fuck. I'm being completely honest. We're being completely, but this is a late night live session. Late night live session, okay? I see you guys are responding. Hey, you guys, are there grants that will help you buy a franchise? Stevenson, no. Because what impact will you drive to the community besides making them fat, making them spend more money, or making them or not really like what is it all depends. It all depends. It all depends on the franchise. If you're trying to franchise donuts, no. No. And if you're trying to franchise a steak and shake, no. Franchise a Chick-fil-A, no. I don't care how Christian y'all is. No. That's the big dog game. When you guys want to get into the big leagues, like real estate, you know what I mean? When you want to get into like commercial real estate, when you want to get into trucking industry and building and investing in franchises and stuff, when you want to get into those type of leagues, you have to be mindful of the type of people that you will be competing with. I want you to do your research on who you're competing with. And when you find out that the top competitor, your top competitor, is a person that comes from money and has assets out of this world, you got to go back to the drawing board. Those are business industries that require assets, not liabilities, that require assets to get started. You don't get a grant for that. A grant is not an asset. They want you to come to the table with some assets. You got to come to the table with something that will hold you accountable in case you suck at business. Those are the type of business industries that you're getting yourself into. Real estate, big leagues. Trucking industry, big leagues. Owning franchises in commercial real estate, big leagues. So it kind of looks weird if you're trying to get into this big industry, but you on the back end asking for help. Are you a big boss or not? That's how that looks. That's how that looks. And I'm just being completely transparent with you. That's how it looks. So it depends on, you could take a different route, right? You can bootstrap and franchise your own, use your own personal credit. You could develop a certain small business, right? So say you want to get into the food and beverage industry, you want to actually franchise a steak and shake. Cool. Start selling burgers out of your house. Save the money, develop the credit, and then go ahead and acquire the steak and shake. Once you acquire that one steak and shake, then you'll be good. Once that revenue starts generating, you can go ahead and get another loan for more steak and shakes and more steak and shakes and more steak and shakes. But you got to start somewhere. You understand? Selling burgers out of your house is going to help you develop the respect within your community, because it's your community that you need to come around through the drive-thru and shop with you. Because ain't nobody buying no steak and shake. Steak and shake at the house. McDonald's at the house. So you gotta make it. You gotta get everybody involved in your idea. You gotta make it make sense. You gotta get us to care about your idea, right? And then when it comes down to getting a grant for a franchise, that's a big no-no. I know it sounds it's like appealing when I'm talking about, oh, you can get a grant for anything, you can get a grant for anything. Yes, but make it make sense. You can get a grant for a startup or an innovation, which is what the new administration is calling for, by the way, if you're not noticing. They're taking money out of the diversion, equity, inclusion situation simply because they are looking for innovators, more tech innovators. It's unfair that other countries have all of these amazing creatives, and it's unfair for the U.S. government to have its top billionaires not be Americans. I hope y'all know Jeff Bezos is not American. Elon Musk is South African. But Bill Gates, I don't even think is American. I think he's European. So it going forward, even with these grants, you're going to see a lot of grants in the tech space, a lot of grants for innovators. And the questions that they're going to ask is, well, how is your innovation, or how are you pioneering this in your industry? These questions are going to get more thorough. Okay. I don't even know who you're talking about, but thank you. Hey, Shelby, I'm late to the chat. Thank you for the information. Always thank you. Just joined live. If you have a nonprofit, do you apply for a grant for, do you apply for a grant for the program or for the organization? You apply for the grant for the organization for that particular project. So if you are a nonprofit and you are a community leader and you are doing something for gun violence, right? Justice reformation, right? And say that around this time, Christmas time, you notice that in your state and local, in Chicago, let's say, I'm just going to just Chicago, right? Let's say around this time, this is when we see a high rate in gun violence, things like that. Say you want to host like this, weekend event where you are, a big community event. You're giving away Christmas toys for tots, right? You partner with you want to do all this stuff, like a big community weekend event to actually stop gun violence. And you actually want to do it on a weekend that you've statistically shown, right? You've actually done your research and you've noticed that this particular weekend, every year, is always something going on. Instead, we're going to change up the vibes. So what you need to do is you need to have what's called a project pitch. Your project pitch needs to be thorough, professional, polished, put together. Explain exactly how this particular weekend expo or this weekend project is actually going to be beneficial, is going to be impactful. Explain to us how much it costs. In phases, how much does it cost? Who do you plan on, sponsoring? Are you going to have sponsors for this thing? Who do you plan on partnering up with to be able to bring more awareness to this? What is your marketing strategy to bring more awareness and get the community involved? So you need to make sure you have your project pitch. Once you have your project pitch and proposal, so the proposal would be like that paper, the PDF version. The pitch would be like that presentation, right? The PowerPoint presentation. Once you have that together, then you want to apply to a lot of these nonprofit grants that is for like your organization and for your project. So grantwatch.com is where you would go. Grantwatch.com. It's blue and white. It's a $40 a month subscription, and that is a grant search engine that you can use to find a lot of grants for nonprofits and for-profit businesses. This grant search engine will help you find over hundreds of grants that serve in your favor. What you need to do is make sure when you have the list of grants that show up, you need to go through each grant and look at the eligibility requirements. This is where it takes your due diligence and your time, because you got to make sure that this grant, they're looking for this type of nonprofit, and it doesn't matter what type of project you're doing as long as you are this type of nonprofit. And or you can apply to grants that is specifically for that particular project. So for example, this might be given out in your state and local government where they say, hey, we're looking for a nonprofit or a community leader or a for-profit business or organization that plans on helping out with gun violence during, February of 2025. We would like for you to provide your project proposal and pitch so that way we can have clarity on the impact of your particular project. Right? So you would get those from state and local government, grantwatch.com, and make sure you are properly prepared for those type of grants, okay? I hope I answered your question thoroughly, Ms. Chanel. If you have any other questions, just drop them in the chat. That was a really good question. So both. Do you apply for the grant program? Do you apply for the grant for the actual program that you have as a nonprofit or the organization, the 501c3? Both. There are grants for the specific project and program that you're providing, and there's also grants for you as a community leader, as the 501c3. Okay. Okay. Perfect. All right. So went over that. What else was it with these grant opportunities? I want to make sure you guys are not missing out on. I want you to drop some questions. I've been going over grants for years, you guys, on YouTube. This, like I said, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I want to know what your grant journey has been like. In order for you to actually win a grant, right? Because we went over the different 4 ways that you can win a grant. But to actually win a grant and to see a lot of responses, right? To see a lot of responses, you need to consistently apply, right? That's the best thing I can tell you. Consistently apply. There is no thing where it's like, there's no grant template. I'm here to tell you, we're in 2024. We finna roll into 2025. There's no grant template. Okay? No. No. There's no grant template. There's no secret sauce, secret name, secret vocabulary words. No. No. You literally got to do this. You literally got to be like consistent with applying. There's no other way around this. Okay? Yeah. So, what else was it? So, we had that consistently applying. Okay, so some pointers. Okay? You have to be very militant and vigilant on your grant writing journey. You got to stay on top of it, friend. You got to give yourself reassurance and clarity. And if you feel like this is too much of a hassle and too much work to do, that's the purpose of hiring grant writers. But you get what you pay for, okay? An average grant writer out here will probably cost you $1,000 per grant application. But this is why I am directing you to learn how to do it yourself. And once you learn and you're in your own grant writing journey and you are writing grants yourself, if you deem that you don't have the time to do this, you can always reach out to me or hire a grant writer, okay? When you are applying to grants, tip number 1, create a grant-specific email. A grant-specific email will be mycompany.grants@gmail.com. Or if you have already a business professional email, you can go into your like Google Workspace, like your admin console, and you can add another business professional email specifically for grants. So for example, mine is grants@superchargemybusiness.com, right? Yours could be grants@abccompany.com. So you want to create a grant specific email. That way you'll be able to keep track of each grant application that you have submitted. I'm going to be fully transparent with you. The grantors only talk to the winners. Which means that when you submit your application, not all the time will you get an email confirmation. So in the process, right, before you submit the application, they usually have a small little checkbox. Besides the checkbox of terms and conditions, but they also have a question where they ask you, would you like to sign up for their newsletter? You want to click yes. The reason why you want to subscribe to their newsletter is so that way you can get consistent correspondence from that grantor. Signing up for their newsletter will also keep you, ahead of the game where we're talking about receiving any type of information on new grants that's coming out. Because, for example, FedEx, right? FedEx is giving out $10,000 right now to any small business owners. In addition to the $10,000, you also get a free Super Bowl ticket, a hotel accommodation, and all that good stuff, right? They'll fly you out to New Orleans for the 2025 Super Bowl. So with that offer, right, with FedEx, when you get ready to apply, before you submit, at the bottom they ask you, do you want to sign up for the newsletter? Click yes. And so what FedEx does is every day, usually 2 to 3 times a year, before they get ready to open up the applications for the grants, usually a month prior, they will let you know, or 2 weeks prior, hey, this is a new grant opportunity. They're going to send an email. So you will be like first come, first serve. You will be like within the first 100 applications because you signed up for the newsletter. Okay? Cool. So tip number 1, create a grant specific email, right? No matter where you are, no matter where you are in the world applying to grants, whether you are in the United States, whether you are in, Asia, Africa, Europe, I don't care where you are, Dubai, do a grant specific email. Just create a specific email for all business correspondence, funding correspondence, okay? So, grant specific email, grants@mycompany.com or grants.mycompany@gmail.com. Second tip, create a grant spreadsheet. I cannot stress this enough. Create a grant specific spreadsheet. A grant spreadsheet. A grant spreadsheet, which means you need to have the name. Column A needs to have the name of the grant. Column B needs to have the link to the grant. Column C needs to have the deadline date, application deadline date. Column D needs to have the date that you need to check your email. And then column E can be like notes. Any notes that you want to add about this grant. This grant, we should know something around this time. This grant may require me to pitch. This grant may require, additional information like my tax document. Whatever notes you need to put there. Okay? Now, you need to have it set up like that so you can stay organized. Once you see that you have applied to about 50 grants and you haven't gotten out one grant opportunity out of the 50 that you've applied to, then that means you need to go back to the drawing board. I'll get to that in a minute. Now, I'm giving you some tips. You know what a grant is? You know the 4 ways you can search and apply to grants. You know the 3 main websites I use. You know what you need to have properly prepared for grants. We went all over that within the last 30 minutes. Now I'm giving you some grant tips to help you reassure yourself on how many grants you're applying to, which ones you're winning, and what your actual grant ratio is. I'm a 71% successful grant writer. But I know that out of 30 grants, 71%. I know my ratio because of this exercise I'm telling you, okay? So, now, what's the usual turnaround time for a grant? Okay, this is something you will need to know so you can enter it in on your grant spreadsheet that I'm telling you about. You must give the grantors 30 days after the application deadline date. You must give the grantors 30 days after the application deadline date. If we apply to a grant today, that does not mean that you give them 30 days from today. That means you give them 30 days from the application deadline date. On your spreadsheet, you should put the actual application deadline. So the application deadline date was November 30th. Then 30 days from November 30th is when you should expect some sort of email correspondence from the grantors, letting you know who's the winners or if you were selected. That's how this goes, okay? Now, 30 days after the application deadline date. So if the deadline date was November 30th, you want to put December or probably January. Give yourself a little bit more leeway. January 10th. Also, in the process of you applying to the grant application, if you pay attention to the landing page or to the main page, it will actually give you what's called a grant timeline. The grant timeline will actually tell you when the applications opened, when the applications will close, when they will go through the applications, and when they will select the winners, and when they will announce the winners. All of that information is actually on the front page before you apply to the grant application. You just got to look and you got to pay attention. Okay? This is you applying to grants yourself. We talking about you saving thousands of dollars right now applying to these grants yourself. How many grants do you need to apply to in order for you to see something? At least 30. 1 grant a day keeps the business debts away. 1 grant a day keeps the business debts away. If you apply to 1 grant a day, that's 30 grants in a month. You're giving yourself a chance at 30 grants in 1 month. You should get the general ratio of applying to 30 qualifying grants. You should get approved to at least 2 to 5 grants out of the 30. But they have to be 30 qualifying grants. Qualifying grants means you have read through the eligibility requirements, thoroughly. You have read through the grant timeline and the guidelines, right? And so now you know that these grants are tailored specifically for you. They're looking for you. And if you apply to 30 of them in 1 month, you should get approved to 2. Now, with this spreadsheet idea I'm giving you, right, some of these grants that you'll apply to may be nationwide opportunities, right? So, for example, grants for women entrepreneurs, grants for veteranpreneurs, right, veteran entrepreneurs, grants for persons with disabilities, grants for Latino-owned businesses. And that might be a nationwide opportunity, right? Still add those grants on your spreadsheet because you never know, even if it is like a raffle, even if it is a pitch competition, even if it is a first come, first serve opportunity or actual judgment, you need to enter in the grant that you have actually spent your time on submitting on your spreadsheet. After you have gotten through 50 and you haven't gotten not one grant application, then we need to go back to the drawing board. We need to take a look at how you're actually applying to grants. What grants are you going for? How are you answering these questions? What does your business plan and project proposal and pitch look like? We might need to ask some of the grantors some questions on understanding and gaining clarity on the reasons for why you haven't gotten any wins. Maybe there has to be out of 50 grant applications submitted, at least one person out of the 50 has to send you an email and said, hey, if you tighten this up a little bit and do this a little bit, then you might have a better chance next time. You can even ask the grant manager or the grantor, hey, I see that you selected these businesses. Do you mind sharing with me, either their information? You can even reach out to the winner and say, hey, I am so happy that you won this recent grant opportunity. I was one of the people that applied. And I would like to know, exactly, if you're open to giving me some pointers on how you won this grant opportunity. You guys have to open your mouth. A closed mouth don't get fed. But you want money for your business idea. But you want somebody to shop with you. But you want somebody to sign up for your thing. But you want the government to work with you and take you seriously. Okay, so do that. Grant spreadsheet, you want to consistently apply. So yeah. I don't, hey, what's up? Welcome in. I don't sell grant lists or offer grant lists. I give you the direct grant search engine so you can go there and search yourself. Because what's the point of having a list and your eyes are going to get cross-eyed? You're going to be like, what the hell? This is over 300, 1,000, 3,000 grants. I don't want to go through this spreadsheet. I don't want to go through this list. So I will give you the grant search engines that you can use that are more eye appealing, right? That won't confuse you because the spreadsheet is crazy. A spreadsheet, a list of just grants only for Virginia is crazy. So visit grantwatch.com. Grantwatch.com. It's a $40 a month subscription, and that is a grant search engine that you can use to find grants that serve in your favor. Grantwatch.com. Grantwatch.com is an amazing grant search engine. You can find grants that are in your local area. You can find grants that are, in your business industry, right? You can also find grants that, are specifically for you, as the entrepreneur, as the company owner, right? So any grant that is in your state, local government, that is in your industry, and that is tailored towards you as the company owner, you will find it using grantwatch.com. I love grantwatch.com because their grants, the grants that they post there, they post the grants that are nationwide. So even grants that are on grants.gov will be in grantwatch.com. Grants that are on Hello Skip, Hello Alice will also be in grantwatch.com too. This is the top grant search engine that I'm giving you. All grant writers are using grantwatch.com. Okay? So instead of me selling you a list and giving you a list, I'd rather you have this information for free. The game is free. The hustle is sold separately. So when you get in there, go ahead and apply to grants. Okay? How do you win a grant? Consistency. Consistency. If you are not going to apply to one grant a day for the next 90 days, don't even worry about this journey. Don't even worry about it. I'm so serious. I'm so serious. If you are not going to be militant on applying to 1 grant a day for the next 90 days yourself, then you're not wasting your time, but it's just like you're not really giving yourself the ultimate chance. The ultimate chance. If you wake up every morning, and you have this aggressive anxiety about how you need to make some money for this business idea, then that same energy you need to put into applying to these grant opportunities. I love you, friend. I'm here to just be honest with you. Okay? All right. So I want to open up the floor for any last minute questions. I love that you guys are here with me. I know it's late night wherever you are. I'm so blessed that you are joining me. I'm out here in Africa off of a grant opportunity. As you can see, since we've been on this live stream, you've been able to see the sun come up. So I'm going to show you, before we get off of this live stream, how amazing Africa looks when we wake up in the morning. But any questions that you guys might have, I want you to ask them right now so I can give you clarity and reassurance on how to continue to develop on this grant writing journey. I've been talking about grants for a very long time, and there shouldn't be a reason why you guys are not taking advantage of these amazing opportunities. And you're welcome. You're very welcome. Yeah, my mic. As soon as I open the door, Okay. Oh, you know what I like about waking up in Africa? During this time of the year, it's like the mornings are very calm. All right, let me show you. All right, you all, good morning from Africa. I know it's late night where you are, but say good morning to my neighbors. This is a rice field, okay? Those are farmers. Yep, so good morning all the way from Africa. And I'm out here on a grant opportunity, right? So if I can do it, you can do it too, friend. If I can do it, you could literally do it too. Y'all see that sun? All right, cool. I'm out here, Black American girl from Miami, Florida. This real city girl, all right? And I'm out here off of a grant opportunity, helping them develop infrastructures like how you see here. Hospitals, schools. Because I know the power of my folks and my people. So, and I'm not Nigerian. I'm full Black American, right? But I really do appreciate the opportunity and the ability to be able to come out here and do this. And that's because I consistently applied to grants. That's because I was militant. That's because I was really serious about following my dreams. I wasn't too satisfied always while I was over there. Y'all seen that? I've been on YouTube for years. I'm not this new vlog girl. I've been on YouTube for years. Y'all seen me cry. Y'all seen me go through so much emotions, right? But when I arrived here, I finally felt like it's like, finally, I'm chasing my dreams. Finally, things are moving forward. Finally, I feel like I'm at peace. I'm at home. I didn't feel like that over there in the U.S. I didn't desire to own a home and do all of those things over there because I didn't want to put myself through so much financial stress. Instead, I would rather put that energy and that stress into making sure humanity and society and the human race continues to live on and continues to develop. I'm a humanitarian at heart, for real. So being able to do this and showing y'all every day, twice a day, I'm like going on live trying to show y'all like this Black girl from Miami has left the United States on a grant opportunity, a government grant, a government. And I'm over here doing amazing things. You could do the same thing. Okay? Cool. You could do the same thing. And even if you don't want to take yourself global, all right, you can still get a grant for whatever it is that you're trying to do, okay, friend? So I just wanted to show y'all, rise and shine. Good morning. I know it's probably like 1 a.m., almost 1 a.m. over there where you guys are, Eastern time. But enjoy the rest of your night. Think about what I said. You know, start your day off when you wake up. Start your day off like proactive. What you want to do, plan it. Figure it out. If you need help with planning and execution strategy, that's what I'm here for. $47 one-on-one call. You can book a one-on-one consultation with me. You can visit my website, superchargemybusiness.com. All right. On my website, there's lots of testimonials. There's all of my services, everything you need to know about me. www.superchargemybusiness.com. Or you can simply text the number that I have pinned down below, or click the direct booking link that's inside of the description of this video. Okay. So I'm going to let you guys go for the night. Enjoy the rest of your night. Sleep tight. I'm going to pray for you and make sure you wake up in positive spirits, positive energy, positive mindset. No anxiety when you wake up. So that way you can have an amazing start to your day and also an amazing weekend, okay? God bless you. This has been an informative, a really, really good Zoom call. Not Zoom call, Grant Live. And I'll see y'all later on today or tomorrow. Tomorrow for y'all, later today for me, okay? Peace and blessings. Bye.